Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Brattleboro's Town Matters podcast. This podcast is a brief update on what is happening in Brattleboro town government. I'm your host, Town Manager John Potter, broadcasting from the BCTV studios in Brattleboro, Vermont. Today we're going to look back at what happened at the February 20th Brattleboro Select Board meeting, and then we'll do a quick review of the agenda for the upcoming meeting on Tuesday, March 5th. The board met on February 20th, and this is what happened. On the consent agenda, there were 4 items, of which one was requested to be removed for discussion later in the meeting. The other 3 items, authorizing application for a Building Resilient Communities grant for a Whetstone Brook scoping study and amending an engineering agreement for the Pleasant Valley Water Treatment Project, and ratifying a parade permit for the Asian Cultural Center of Vermont's annual Lunar New Year parade, were all approved on consent 5-0. The first item of new business, the board chair read a list of community vacancies, and if you're interested in serving on a Brattleboro committee, please contact the town manager's office. After that, the fire chief, Leonard Howard, discussed the fire department's monthly report. Next, the board considered the billing and collections policies for the new Emergency Medical Services Program, and EMS Superintendent Billy Fritz gave a presentation on several billing models and recommended a compassionate billing approach for Brattleboro residents versus non-residents. And there was quite a bit of discussion by the board around things like payment plans and the length of payment plans and the rates that would be charged for ambulance services and compassionate collections for residents versus non-residents versus taxpayers. And following that discussion, there was a motion to adopt the town of Brattleboro's emergency medical services and billing and collections policy, but it was amended to extend the time period from 150 days to 270 days for collections and to add residential taxpayers to the residential language for compassionate collections. This motion was approved 3-2. The next item was a discussion about the trash collection program for the town, and the current trash collection contract is coming to a close. So in 5-0 motion, the board authorized staff to publicly solicit a request for qualifications and letters of interest from qualified solid waste contractors. The next item on February 20th was assigning motions for the representative town meeting, and that was done and accepted 5-0. Next, they took up a discussion of the Dispersing American Rescue Plan Act funds item, which had been moved from the consent agenda. This was a proposal by staff to transfer ARPA funds totaling $2.7 million into the general fund to pay for staff salaries in FY24 as an accounting and reporting technique to reduce risks to the town. And that motion was approved to move that funding, although it will not affect any of the previous decisions made by the select board for ARPA allocation. The next select board meeting is a regular meeting scheduled for Tuesday, March 5th. However, it will not be at their usual time. It will be at 7 p.m. after polls close, because that is election day, and it will be held in the Select Board meeting room at 230 Main Street, and this is what will be on the agenda. Under consent, there are 6 items: accepting a bid for cemetery maintenance for this summer, approving a Better Connections grant-related contract for design services, approving 2 entertainment licenses, one for Rebop Farm and one for the Boys and Girls Club. Also approving a parade permit for the Humane Society's Walk for Animals, and finally authorizing application for a library grant. So those 6 items are on consent. Under new business, there are 3 items, and the first will be an update from Brattleboro's legislative delegation. The legislators will be attending the select board meeting to give an update partway through their session on bills of interest to the town. Following that, Jim Baker will be returning to the board to update on the work of the governor's public safety enhancement team on public safety and public health in Brattleboro. And then finally, on March 5th, the board will be making committee appointments. Couple announcements. Election Day is next Tuesday, March 5th. The polling place for all 3 districts in Brattleboro is the American Legion, located at 32 Linden Street. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Parking is available at the American Legion, the State Building, and the Municipal Center parking lots. Early voting is available through March 4th at 5 p.m. at the town clerk's office. The town clerk's office hours are 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. For more information about the upcoming election, please visit the news section at brattleboro.gov. I hope this update on what's been happening in town government in Brattleboro has been helpful. Please reach out at townmatters@brattleboro.gov if you have any suggestions or want to discuss anything further. Thanks very much for listening, and check back in again soon.